Hello my friends, I am the Dungeon Tutor. Welcome! Today we're doing another RPGaDay question. Today is the 25th, so it's the 25th question. We're getting close to the end. And today's question is, or a topic actually, is to talk about an unplayed RPG you have. They know us too well. Unfortunately, this one is hard for me. Not because it's hard to find an RPG game that I haven't played. It's the difficult thing is talking about one in particular because I've got a lot of them. I've been collecting games and my campaigns generally tend to run rather long. So the opportunities to get through many of the games I have just haven't been thick on the ground. I'm currently in the middle of a 5th edition game that started at the started in 2022 and is probably not going to be done until mid-2024, if not later. It's going to be a lot of long dungeon crawling and stuff, so yeah, it's a big one. Another game that I have for my group that goes through games faster, we're in the middle of the 4th chapter of what's shaping up to be a 7-chapter campaign. But at the same point, it's like, we will get games in between. Between this chapter and the next one, which I'm still waiting to get, we'll probably play another game in between. So I do have some opportunities to clear out some of these games that I've had and dust them off and give them a crack. Today's game is one that I have intended to do for a while because I'm a strong believer in some of the core concepts of the game. I love the source of the game. All in all, I think it could be a fabulous game. Don't know because I haven't played it yet. That game that I'm going to introduce to you today is called Planet Mercenary. You're not going to hear about this one too often, which is a shame. But Planet Mercenary is the role-playing game based off of the webcomic Schlock Mercenary done by Howard Taylor. And it was a beautiful little comic because when it started out, Taylor himself is not a gifted web artist. His style is kind of chunky, and when he started out, he was clearly very inexperienced, very green at it all, and as the years passed, and years, yes, there are lots and lots and lots of backstory to get through. If you want to look at Schlock Mercenary yourself, and I highly recommend it, it's very entertaining, his style grows and adapts, and he gets better and better as it goes. It's really good. He is a smart webcomic artist. So his stuff is based on sci-fi, which immediately is going to draw people who are going to, all the sci-fi nerds are going to come in and like nitpicking and stuff, and he bantered with them. He's got a very clear idea of some of what he does, and sometimes he just throws up his hands and says, it's gobbledygook because sci-fi is gobbledygook. But it's pretty cool. The idea of Schlock Mercenary is it's the story of primarily a mercenary company called Tagon's Toughs, after Captain Tagon, who is a muscle-headed doofus. The main character, however, often tends to be Sergeant Schlock, who is a amorph. He does not have a set body. He's kind of looks like a big pile of poop, and he can form arms and has eyes and stuff, which he can lose his eyes. They grow them on bushes at his homeworld. It's weird. But Schlock Mercenary is your story. You are mercenaries, and the adventure takes place in the galaxy where mercenaries are needed. So at first, that's okay. That's solid sci-fi. Nothing too fancy there. They have a real humor and comedy to the sci-fi they have. It's not all grim, serious, and po-faced. It's fun and whimsical. There are even down to the names of weapons. One of the companies. Explosives are called something like Boom X. Yeah, just simple, comes down, easy to recognize what it is. One of the weapon manufacturers is FUBAR, which anybody knows military knows that acronym. followed up beyond all repair, of course. Nothing else. Nothing else it could mean. And instead of playing one character, you actually play a squad of characters. You have a leader, an officer, but you have a group of angry, steroided up gorillas, not literally, although they can be actual gorillas, just uplifted, who do your fighting for you. And you don't need to shoot at all if you are, say, a doctor or an engineer. You still can participate in fights because you have goons. And your goons are good at breaking stuff and good at shooting stuff. So you don't necessarily have to. On the other hand, if you want to get in and mix it up too, your squad is going to be more effective because you've got another good fighter along with. And that's not a bad option to have either. There's exotic armors and fun weapons, and there's rules for ships and ship combat and plying your mercenary trade. It's got some fun little MacGuffins, too. It's got coins, which I backed the Kickstarter, so I have all the fluff. It's got coins that you can spend for narrative moments. It's got a deck called a Mayhem deck that can provide your character with ways of doing things that can lead to some interesting effects. Some of them will be unique just to the circumstances that you find yourself in, but others can be more generally just useful successes that you can draw. And I do believe that Taylor's universe is fun, but it does tackle serious topics. So if you want to go off and talk about AIs and what the significance is, there's actually a fleet of AI uplifted ships that have basically declared themselves a sovereignty. And they have their own agenda, which makes everybody else nervous because they're very powerful. There is a technology that actually is developed by one of the characters in the comic called terraporting. It's almost like teleporting, except it's a matter of creating millions of tiny wormholes and sending all the different molecules of the mass of the ship through them and then reassembling on the other side. Which, if you think about it, makes faster than light travel not as important, but it creates some difficulties, and later on it resolves those difficulties when people who got their hands on technology, especially after the crew open sourced that technology, suddenly started doing all the heinous things that you can imagine doing by being able to teleport, say, a bomb into the capital of your most hated foes, just set to explode. Yeah, that happened. So anti-teleport technology then was developed too, so that it kind of grounded things back to more sane sci-fi again. It's cool. There's a lot of fun things to it. I think there's a lot of interesting moving parts that other games just really haven't done. I think the humor of it and the range of fun stuff. Who doesn't want to run around with a plasma cannon that can absolutely melt walls and vaporize your opponents, and bizarre aliens that you can both play as and confront? Uplifted elephants, too. Aliens from different points of the world, like Uniox, that have one big eye perched on top of their head. Contact lenses for them kind of suck. It's true. But yeah, it's neat. It's cool, and I would love to play it. I really would. I'm going to have to run it, not play it, unfortunately. What are the odds of me giving this to another player and going, here, run this, and them going, sure. No, I've read through the entire of Schlock Mercenary. It's good, although it does drag at the end. It gets too serious for its own good, unfortunately. But it's fine. It's wonderful, and I look forward to showing that to other people through this role-playing game sometime. When that is, I don't know, but I hope it's not too long in the future. I did intend to do it at this year's Gamehole Con, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Any rate, thank you for joining me. I hope this showed you something interesting. The PDFs are still available. I don't know how easy it is to get a hold of the books, but it's pretty cool. The art's nice. It's all full of Taylor stuff. It's really good. He had a hand in it along with the game creator, so nothing wrong with that. Alright, my friends, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it enough to like and subscribe. I really do, because I like to see you, and I'd like to know that you're watching and enjoying this. That would make me feel really good. And I hope this does lead to you coming back for more, because if you've been enjoying my videos, then there's more to be had. Even beyond August, when I'm done with the RPGaDay, I've got so many videos to make yet, and so much good stuff to share with you. Please stick around for the ride. And if you do, I hope that between the next video and now, I hope that you, yes, you, have a chance to roll some dice, to play some games, to have some fun, but stay safe out there, my friends. Until next time, farewell.